Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will talk about how you can improve your linguistic abilities to speak like a native speaker. The first thing that you have to consider when you want to speak like a native speaker is to immerse yourself in the language. This means that you have to go watch TV shows, watch videos, listen to podcasts, and do a lot of things. Like you have to immerse yourself and expose yourself to English content to be able to speak like a native speaker. Also, if it's possible, you have to spend some time in English speaking countries to be able to understand their lingo and understand how they interact with each other and then mimic them or imitate native speakers. And also, if you can find a friend, even if you're in a country that does not speak English, if you can find a native speaker and just conversate with them on a daily basis, I think this will make and this will improve your English to the next level. My second tip for speaking like a native speaker is to work on pronunciation and intonation. Now you have to understand that spoken English is very different than written English. A lot of people go to English classes or they read books and they expect to speak like a native speaker, but that's not the case. You have to understand pronunciation and you have to understand intonation. And you can do that by listening to native speakers and mimicking how they pronounce certain words. For pronunciation, we have many tools and apps online that you can use and improve your pronunciation in English. Also, one important tip that I want to give you for improving your pronunciation is to use tongue twisters. These are difficult to pronounce sentences and phrases that can help you to really understand how native speakers use different tools in their language to be able to pronounce these tough sentences and phrases. One of my favorite tongue twisters is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pears. Difficult, isn't it? So by practicing these tongue twisters, you can improve your pronunciation and be able to sound like a native speaker. Third tip for speaking like a native speaker is, just like I said, you have to be able to understand spoken English. And for you to be able to understand spoken English, it's very important for you to understand idioms and slangs. Idioms are basically phrases that do not have a literal meaning, but they have a figurative meaning. One of the idioms that I use most of the times is wear many hats. Now, you might not be able to understand the meaning of this phrase from the words, but if I use it in a sentence, maybe you will get an understanding of what it means. Our company is very small, so employees should be flexible, and they have to wear many hats. So it means that sometimes employees should work in different roles because we don't have a lot of people to work in those roles. Couch potato is a slang that a lot of people use. And for you to be able to understand and speak like a native speaker, you have to understand slangs. So, for example, they say, Ahmad is a couch potato. He's always late to work and he procrastinates in many of the tasks that he has to complete. So couch potato means basically a person who is lazy. So if you don't understand what it means, you will not be able to understand the contextual meaning of a sentence. So that's why it's very important for you to understand slangs and idioms if you want to speak and sound like a native speaker. My next tip for you to sound like a native speaker is to understand the culture. A lot of the times, the way native speakers interact with each other, they give a lot of cultural references. So sometimes thinking like a native speaker can help you to understand their speech and understand how they conversate, and then you can emulate and imitate them to be able to speak like a native speaker. And the last tip I would like to share with you to sound like a native speaker is to seek feedback. I think this is also a very important thing. If you can find a native speaker, then you can seek feedback from them on how you have to speak and how to pronounce words. and then also you can seek feedback from your instructors or people that can speak English like a native speaker, and then you can do that. I think these are also very important. And also you have to be very persistent and motivated to speak like a native speaker, because it's a long process, and it might take 6 months, it might take 3 months, it might take a year. You have to be patient and you have to keep moving forward. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.